Hey everyone, it's Joy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today is HoneyBee Stamps Holiday Wishes YouTube video hop, and I've created this candy cane card with lots of texture and layers using die cuts, 3D embossing folders, different kinds of cardstock. So here's the products that I'm using. This is the Lovely Layers candy cane. I'm using the Lovely Layers large snowflakes, the 3D embossing folder snowflakes, the Peace, Love, and Joy stamp and coordinating die. So I have started by using the deckled edged die, like layering dies. No, these aren't layering dies. Rectangular dies is what I meant to say. This is an old from forever ago. I have die cut some peppermint cardstock from some of the pattern paper from this new release. I cannot remember the name of it right now, but I will have that listed and linked for you guys below. I have 2 pieces of Neenah cardstock, so just white cardstock in different sizes. Then I decided I did not want the decal edge on the peppermint cardstock. I actually wanted to have just a little bit of this peeking out from behind a ton of white layers. So I'm going to have a white layer behind the peppermint and then 2 white layers on top of the peppermint. I'm also going to soften this peppermint cardstock, and I'll show you how I do that here in just a little bit. So this is basically going to be the layers of my cards. Now I want to add texture. I love snowflakes. They are my favorite, and this is the 3D embossing folder snowflakes, and it is gorgeous. So I'm going to use this on all 3 of my white pieces of cardstock. The first one I did was an A2 sized. That was not cut with the decal edge, but I am going to trim it down just a little bit so I can have a plain white edge from the card base. So this is going to have a lot of layers to it. So I'm running that through my die cut machine, and now I have all of those layers there. Isn't that so pretty? Look at the 3D. I love 3D embossing folders. So here's where I decided to trim off just like a 1/16 of an inch on each side. There is 3 pieces to the Lovely Layers candy canes. I'm only going to use 2 because I just want a simple red and white candy cane, but you could have 3 colors on your candy cane. So one of them just kind of embosses the lines. The second one that I'm going to die cut with red cardstock here. So this first one just has embossed impression so you can see where the stripes are. This one has the red, and then as you see, you just layer it on because again, it's the Lovely Layers candy cane. And that's going to give us our red and white candy cane. I am using wild cherry cardstock, and I'm going to die cut that out twice. I want 2 on the front of my card. So I want a lot of white on this card with some pops of red. Now, in the candy cane, Lovely Layers candy cane die, there's some greenery and a ribbon and stuff like that, but I'm not using that. I'm going to use the snowflakes to add a little something extra. I could not find my HoneyBee Stamps reverse tweezers, so I'm just using some Spellbinders reverse tweezers. I am using HoneyBee Stamps liquid glue to adhere these 2 together. And then as you can see, we've got these 2 beautiful candy canes. So now I want to use the Lovely Layers large snowflakes. I'm using 2 of the snowflakes. This first one, I thought I was going to use vellum, then I opted against that. Then I just die cut it from regular white cardstock, forgetting that I actually wanted to die cut it from glitter cardstock, which I will end up doing here in just a little bit. That small snowflake I am going to die cut from red cardstock. I wanted another pop of red on top of the candy canes. So as you can see, that's how that's going to lay, and I think it just is so much prettier. So let's put these layers together. I have my white A2 size card base. My largest piece is going down, but remember we trimmed this down slightly. I'm adding a piece of vellum on top of the striped cardstock. I'm doing this because for 2 reasons. I wanted this red and white stripes to be a little bit softer. And the second reason is it's not the same exact red color as my candy canes. So if you want a patterned paper or a background just to be a little bit softer, put a piece of vellum directly on it. I added a little bit of adhesive right in the center of it because it is going to be covered by these 2 pieces here. Both of these pieces were cut with the decal edge die, and I'm going to center that. And then as you can see, we have this pretty red and white candy cane striped patterned paper peeking out behind those white layers, but it's so much softer now with that vellum. Then now the candy canes are the star of the show. It's not competing in color or brightness as far as the other red and white cardstock goes. I'm just laying this out, deciding how I want my candy canes to lay. So I'm going to adhere those down, glue those in place just to each other, because I'm actually going to pop these up with foam tape. I'm putting this together, and it takes me a minute to realize that I actually want to use a white glitter cardstock for that large white snowflake, which is easy to just take off that red centerpiece snowflake, and then I can change that out. But look at the 3D embossing foldered background. Isn't it just gorgeous? I love it. I think it turned out so pretty. This is when I remembered, oh yeah, I wanted to do glitter because of course glitter is pretty, but it will stand out as a different white from the background since there's so much white on the background, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to use my tool-in-one to pop this out. I was trying to be careful to not make a hole, but that glitter cardstock definitely just wanted to hang on. So now there is a giveaway for this. I will have all that information listed and linked for you below in the description. And just remember to hop along, check out all the inspiration. If you like what you've seen, please subscribe to the channels, like and comment for sure. And we all appreciate that. So now I can get this put in place. I want to have my candy canes popped up, so I'm using some foam sticky strips. I'm taking the release paper off of both sides, which makes it really easy to bend this around. And this is going to give dimension. If you guys follow me, you know that I just love a lot of dimension on my cards. And yeah, it's my favorite. Look at that pop of red against all of that textured white background. I think it's so pretty. Then I can put the snowflake on the background. I'm just going to use some liquid glue to adhere that down. And then let's work on our sentiments. I'm using the Peace, Love, Joy stamp set and coordinating die. Now, I wanted to have the sentiments be a different color. I didn't want it to be red. I just wanted the snowflake and the candy canes to be red, but I didn't want black ink on here, so I decided to use a very light gray ink. I used Simon Says Stamps flannel ink. They're Pawsitively saturated inks, and I'm going to ink that up. And I wasn't sure at first, but I love how it turned out. It's super soft and super pretty. Now the word joy is open, so you could color this in, but I really liked how thin the lines were on joy and how dainty it felt, so I opted to not color it in. I'm using the coordinating dies to die cut this out for the large sentiments and the small. It says wishing you joy this holiday season. So I'm going to add 2 layers of foam tape behind the word joy, and I'm going to line it up kind of even with those snowflakes. And I added a little bit of liquid glue behind the Y because it's overlapping part of that snowflake. So I'm using my reverse tweezers to hold that together. And then the wishing you sentiment is going to have 2 pieces of foam tape because it needs to stick up just a little bit further than that candy cane, and I'm going to center it. So I'm centering the top sentiment and the bottom sentiment with each other. And then I could just add liquid glue behind this one and pop that one in place. And then the final last little piece that you need is a little sequin or a something in the center of that red snowflake. I'm using the Winter Wonder gem stickers. I'm just using a large white one. Pop that in place, and then we can take a look at this card up close. I just think it's so, so pretty. I love these products. Of course, HoneyBee Stamps has amazing products. And yeah, this turned out beautiful. So remember to hop around, check out all the inspiration so you can enter to win for the giveaway. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you enjoy this project, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.